I have a custom keeper organizational project to share today that I just sort of stumbled upon. Lately in my like my Facebook news feed or my Instagram feed, I've just been seeing a lot of ads for these card holders, like credit card holders and gift card holders, which I don't have a lot of. I have one debit card. I have no gift cards. So it's not something that meets a need for me, but apparently there is a need out there. So I started thinking, well, okay, I don't really want to buy one of those because I know I'm not really going to use it, but can I make one? And if I make one, can I use it? And so as I was kind of putting this together, I was digging in my desk drawer for some stuff and came across my current organizational system for business cards, which is this. I usually have a rubber band around them. So this is a need for me, some kind of a business card holder, and this little system does both. It can hold business cards or it can hold gift cards, credit cards, you know, like store rewards cards, and I didn't have any really, so mine is full of hotel key cards because that is something I do have. I use them for spreading glue, so I stuck them in there. It's the same size, so you get the gist, right? Anything the size of like a business card or a credit card will work in this. And this is the thing. It's got pockets, it's got little slippy slot things, and a notebook. I'm gonna show you how to do this. What you're gonna need is a custom keeper, A7 size. This is our smallest size. You can get the paintable one that you decorate yourself, or just any A7 size custom keeper refillable notebook cover. You're going to need, to do the example like I've done here, you're going to need one text weight blank notebook insert, and you're going to need 4 pocket inserts, all in the A7 size. You're also going to need a little piece of elastic, like a rubber band or a hair elastic. That will work. This is just a piece of elastic like we use for our custom keepers. You're going to need some double stick tape. This is score tape, or some good sticky glue, like one of my favorites, Tombo's Mono Multi Liquid Glue. Either of these will work. You're going to probably need a bone folder and a circle hole punch in whatever size this is. Wouldn't that help if I knew? Let me see. And of course it's not written on there anywhere. Hang on. Okay, this looks like seriously, 5/8. Yeah, 5/8 inch. I guess. Okay, you know, that size. About the size of a dime, maybe a little bit bigger. That's what you're going to need. So let me show you how this is done. It's super easy. It's cheap too. All of these, now I don't sell this together as a set. It's all separate so that, you know, you can tweak it and make it the way that you want. But just the cover, the 1 bound notebook, and then the 4 pocket notebooks is like 20 bucks in my Etsy shop. So, you know, 20 bucks for something that's usable, versatile, and that you can customize yourself. Because remember, these pockets are made out of suede text, so you can leave them just like they are, or you can glue stuff to them, collage on them, or they paint beautifully with any kind of like watercolors or liquid acrylics. And then this one I just stenciled over it with regular acrylic paint. So yeah, you can customize and paint and decorate your pockets, or leave them plain, whatever you want. But here's the process. All right, your custom keeper arrives, it's going to look a little bit like this when you take it out of the package. And at this point you can decide which side you want. They are reversible. Every one of the custom keepers notebook covers is reversible. So if you don't like the outside that we've chosen, you can reverse it. Let's say for argument's sake you want to reverse your cover. It's super simple to do. All you need to do is pull this guy out like that and untie these. This is just to keep the strings from flopping around in the packaging. So pull that and you've got this happening. Then you just come back here, pull the string out. Super simple, right? Then if you want this to be the outside, you're going to take your string that you just pulled out, and I use a piece of wire. This is just a little piece of craft wire, and this just kind of helps me thread it. I use this sort of like my needle. So put it in here, and I want this to be the outside, so I start from the inside because this is where my strings are going to be. Go down through the middle one, and then let this come down just past the center hole. Then come around through either the right or left, it doesn't matter. Just come down through one of the ends like this, straight down, up through this middle. It's kind of a figure eight, you know, a serpentine, you know, that thing. Okay, come back up through the middle. No, that's down through the middle, up through the end, down through the end, back up through the middle. So you start in the middle, you end in the middle, just like that. Super simple. Every custom keeper comes with instructions on how to do that, and a little diagram. Should be really easy to follow. Then you want to tie it off in a square knot. Okay, how do we do the square knot? Let's do it with this one. Top, bottom. Keep the top at the top, the bottom at the bottom. So make sure this one goes over the bottom one. That's your square knot. Okay? All right, tie your square knot, and then you want to put your spine closure thing back in. Just feed it through the hole, and there you have reversed your strings. Now, once your strings are like you want them, I like to just go ahead, trim off any excess, because I don't need all these little tails. We give you the tails so that they're easy to tie off, and you know, especially on these littler sizes, but you don't need to keep them. So once you're tied off, everything's like you want it, you can cut these off. Make sure it's pulled tight, and then this is not pulled tight. There we go. Then I'm just going to trim it up close to the knot. I don't want to cut the knot, but you know, you can do it right next to the knot. I'm going to do that on both of these because I don't need that. Then I'm going to take a lighter, and can you see how this is kind of fuzzy right there? Just take a lighter and just get it right up close to it, and it'll get rid of that fuzzy. That kind of seals it and keeps it from fraying even more. You don't need to actually burn it. Just get the heat close enough to it to get rid of the fuzzies. And do that on this one. There we go. Now that's tidy, ready to go. Got my cover the way I want it. Now what I'm going to do is start putting my pockets together. I need my 1, 2, 3, 4 suede tex pockets. And this, I'm doing this in the A7 size because this works perfectly, you know, for your cards, credit cards, gift cards, business cards. You can do this with any of the sizes if you want to. Okay. Now I've got my 4 pockets. They're going to go in the 4 strings like this. And what I'm going to do is attach them so that the in-between becomes another pocket. And I'm just going to attach it on 2 sides, just the bottom and the outside edge. On this one, I had initially done it on all 3 sides, you know. I did this inside part, the bottom, and the outside, and I just found that it made this top pocket a little bit too snug, and it was unnecessary. Because this, I'm not really worried about my cards in those top slots falling out of the back side, even though those are not taped. If that does concern you, you can go ahead and tape that inside edge. But I felt it wasn't really necessary, and it just, I don't know, I just liked it better. But it's an option for you. So I'm going to use my score tape, and I'm going to tape these together. Oh, first let's do the punches. That's right. So I punched just a little notch out of the top of these so that it's easier to grab the cards on the inside. See, like that? So let's do that first. And I don't need one on this front cover because it doesn't have a slot. I just need one here. And what I'm going to do is, if I had a pencil, that would be ideal, but I don't. I'm going to use this little grid to find the center. These are 3 inches across, so I just need to come over to 1.5, which is right there. That's my 1.5 mark. And now I'm going to put my little punch in there. Just kind of eyeball it, you know, whatever depth you want it to be, and then punch. And then I can use this as a pattern for my subsequent pages, like so. The next one needs to be in this cover, so I'm going to lay these down, match them up. Now I do need my pencil. Just lightly trace that, and then punch it. These little covers just irritate me. Okay. I'm just positioning this around my pencil mark, and I'm punching. You can't really lay both of them down and then punch like that because the suede tex is thick and it doesn't want to go through there. So that's why I have to draw the mark, draw the line. So I'm going to keep doing that. This front cover of the back pocket is the last one that you need. You don't need any on these ends. So now we've got all our little slots done. All we have to do is put the tape on the outside edge and bottom edge and stick them together. So use my score tape. You can use Oh, the tape didn't, that's weird. Okay. You can use a glue if you prefer, or a different kind of tape. This one just seemed to work well. This is, I don't know, what is this? 1/4 inch score tape? Yep, 1/4 inch score tape. I wouldn't use anything any wider than 1/4 inch, or you're not going to be able to get your cards in there. Use my bone folder to make sure that is stuck down good, and then peel off the release paper. Now, even up your edges and stick those two together. Press everything down good. And that will hold. It will pull apart if you start, really trying to pull on it. But just with normal use, it's not going to come apart. Do that for each one, outside edge, bottom edge. Now, once you have your pockets taped together, that's really all there is to it. You can start filling them up. What I like to do, what I did on mine, this is kind of my prototype, but I'm going to have an actual one that I'll finish out. It's going to take me some time, so I didn't want to do it just yet, but I'll show you what my plan is. You can take your little notebook here, add it inside like I did here, and if you're thinking, but there's only 4 strings and that would be 5 inserts, how am I going to do that? That's what this extra little piece of elastic is for. You're going to piggyback your bound notebook onto one of your pockets. And the way you do that is tie this off in a knot. If you're using like a hair rubber band, then that's a little easier. You can skip this step. You like that, so that it's just a little bit shorter than the notebook. And I don't want all this tail, so I'm going to trim that off. Keep it from fraying. Now, pull this out. This is my front, this is the front cover, so this is my first pocket. I'm going to put the cover of my first pocket, the front cover of my first pocket, up against the back cover of my notebook. And I'm going to put this elastic around the two so that it does this. Then I'm going to slip the whole notebook underneath my elastic so that that's in like that. That's how you piggyback, and you can add more inserts into these refillable notebook covers. Even if you've only got 4 strings, you can add several more. So that's how I do that. Now I can start filling it up with my reward cards, my credit cards, my business cards, my gift cards, and the notebook. I'll show you. Here's the top slots. See? Easy breezy. Just stick those down in there. the notebook, I thought this would be the perfect place to make this almost like a bullet journal. So this is what I'm planning to do is I'm going to take my pockets and maybe like number them. This is pocket number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number my pockets, and then maybe my top slots I'll do like slot A, slot B, slot C. And then I can sort of bullet journal it over here where I'm in, okay, pocket number 1. Maybe this is where I put my wholesale customers, because I'm going to use mine for business cards. So this one will be all of my wholesale customers. So I'll label it wholesale customers, and then I can even, leave room and put their names in there so that I'll know that's what's in pocket number 1. And then maybe pocket number 2, these are my potential people I need to follow up with. Okay, so I can do that. Or I can do it alphabetically. I can do, like A through E in here. And, you can do it by the name, by the company name, by the person's name, alphabetically, by category, however you want. And then just jot it down here in your notebook as sort of your index for where to find what you need. And so you've got this little like bullet journal card holder. And you can do that for your, like if it's full of gift cards, do the same thing. Put it in category or by company or by theme or whatever, and then jot down, okay, like Target, and then the date, and you've got $20 left. And then that way, every time you use it, you can kind of log how much you have left. Or when you refill it, like a Starbucks card or something, the date you refilled it, and you've got this much left. So, see? I'm like, in theory, in my head, I'm so hyper organized. Now, would I actually sit and do that? I would for a week. And then I'd be like, oh no, too much trouble. But if you've got a lot of stuff to keep up with, then, it's good to get into that practice. I can see this could be very helpful. But, for business cards, this is going to be super helpful for me. Because this is going to hold all sizes, even the non-traditional sizes will fit in there. I think I had some, some of the little ones, I can stick in there. And this is just going to be, I can't wait to actually finish mine. I'll have to post pictures either on my Instagram, probably on Instagram when I finish mine. So if you don't follow me on Instagram and you're on there, look me up. I'm by Shannon Green. Follow me there so that you can see the follow-up pictures when I actually finish my business card one. And then give this a try if you like. Like I said, it's $20 for all the components. And if some of you have some of these on hand that you've been buying and using or hoarding, whatever, no judgment here. So this is an idea for what you can do with them. If you need to go to the shop and buy some, we have a few A7s left. But if I see that, this is going to be a thing, I'll make a whole bunch more. We do have a bunch of the paintable ones available. But you can, if you're buying, all of the pockets and everything to make one, and you need that extra piece of elastic, just say, hey, would you throw in that extra piece of elastic for me? Because I'm making the card holder book, and I'll be glad to do that. I'll throw that in for free. Now, if, you've already got the stuff on hand and all you need is the piece of elastic, I'm not your best source for that, because then I'm going to have to charge you and you'll have to pay postage on it. You would be much better off sourcing that on your own, either from a craft store like Michael's or Hobby Lobby, or you can get it online at Amazon, or you can use hair ties. Just go down to Walmart and pick you up some hair rubber bands, because they're just the right size for this A7. So if you do need to buy some elastic, this is 2mm is what I use, 2mm elastic. So hopefully that's all the information you need to make one of these for yourself or for a gift. And y'all, there's, depending on the vinyl that you use or the way that you decorate your paintables, good for guys too. This could totally be a guy gift, because they need to keep up with business cards, and this would be a perfect little way for them to, you know, have a little bullet journal notebook type thing to organize their cards. So that's what I have. If this idea is, you know, something that would be helpful for you, I hope you'll give it a try. And if you do it, and especially if you know, decorate and paint your pockets, I would love to see it. Best way to do that is to share pictures in my Facebook group. All of those links are down below in the video description. Yeah, I really do love seeing what y'all do. So that is all I have to share today. Thank you so much for watching. The end.